Well, today I thought I'd discuss some of my vices. And by vices, I mean bench vices. So this one here is a 3.5 inch vise. This is the vise that my father bought back in the 1960s. I remember it on all the houses that we lived in since we moved to Oregon. Not sure the brand. It does say made in America. But it's been a real good trusty vise and the perfect size for a homeowner. And for several years it was at my mom's house in a box, gathering cobwebs and dust and dirt, and we found it a couple years ago, and I just recently kind of cleaned it up, and I'm going to send it to my brother. To the left of it is almost an identical vise, only it's a little bit larger. It's a 4-inch vise. It's obviously newer, and it's made by Fuller. It's kind of your traditional bench vise. It has a little anvil up here. And I did buy this one from Goodwill. You can see because it has the XV on there, and that's how they mark their prices. This one cost me $15. Well worth it. I plan on switching out with the vise that I have in the workbench in our garage, and I'll show you that one right now. So this is the one that I've used for the last probably 15 years or so. It's also made in the USA, and it's a 3.5 inch. It's a 3.5 inch bench vise, and it's made by, is it Dunlap? Anyway, it's been a good vise. I'm just gonna put that Fuller in because it's a little bit bigger. And then we come to what I call the behemoth of vices. This one is made by Wilton, and it's the model 1755, and it is an extremely high quality vise. One thing I do like about this is you can rotate this 360 degrees, and it has a very sizable anvil on it. So I was at this garage sale and I see this vise on the ground on the driveway, and it had a $5 price tag on it. So I brought it up and I bought it for $5. The only problem is it was missing one of the jaws, and it didn't have the inside here. It has pipe jaws. It didn't have those. So I looked online and I found, I believe it's called Zorro tools. They had the actual Wilton jaws, so I bought those, and it also came with the pipe vices in there, or pipe jaws, and I think it cost me about $40 for the jaws, and it came with new screws, but it was really worth it because it really completes this vise and it makes it very usable. And right now I just have it attached to this piece of plywood, and I just have it C-clamped onto the workbench. I can move it around. So from the really large vices we go to the ridiculously small vices. Let me show you those. So when it comes to vices, this one here is extremely small. It has a 1 3/4 inch jaws. I'm not sure if this is a hobby vise or what it was used for, but it's actually missing another pin. There's supposed to be a pin that goes down here, because when you loosen it, it doesn't pull out. You have to hand pull it out, but you can tighten it, and it tightens really good, but it's just missing a part. But still, it's kind of a cool little vise. So even smaller than that is this old vise here, and this is actually kind of an antique. It says made in Japan, and it's an 1.5 inch, has 1.5 inch jaws, and it's actually complete, and it works very well once you oil it up. And it's designed to clamp onto a countertop, but it works very well. And I'm not sure what they use these smaller vices for. Maybe for jewelers or something like that. And then, of course, what is the smallest vise you've ever seen? Well, here's a 1-inch vise. The jaws on this are 1 inch wide. And this here is definitely an antique because the patina is just really old looking. I'm not sure where I got this, but it was probably at a secondhand store or an antique store, something like that. But it is fully functional, and it also clamps onto the countertop. But it's actually the smallest vise I've ever seen. I don't know if it was like a salesman sample or what, but it works really well. And I just kind of have a knack to finding cool old tools, and I kind of hang on to the ones that are really interesting like that. Not only bench vices, but there's also a couple other types of vices that I have. One here is we've got this drill press vise, and it's designed to be attached to the drill press table, but as you can see here, the slots really don't line up that well. But on the newer drill presses, I believe the slots are kind of angular, so it's easier to find a match, and it would be easy to make this work. So I'm not sure how I'm going to get this one to work, but it's kind of a cool vise. It's got a release button here where you can actually pull the jaws out and separate them. It'd be really good for anchoring items to be worked on. But not only can you use it on drill press, you can actually use it on the countertop. And let's see, it'd go like this actually. And these pins just slide into this bracket that's mounted onto the counter. And then of course you can anchor it down here as well. But that's another way you can use this vise. So in addition to the drill press vise, there's another vise I have here. It's made by Pony, and it's more of a woodworking vise. And the nice thing about this vise is you can mount it to the countertop, or not the countertop. Well, I guess it would be the countertop, but it kind of stays out of the way, and you don't have a big, huge, clunky vise on top of your counter or your work surface. It's kind of out of the way. This is actually a cheap one. I bought this at Ace Hardware. They had a 50% off one normally priced item, so I think I got it for around $10 or $15. And I think I'm going to put it on a assembly table that I have, that I keep in my garage where I do a lot of my woodworking. So one thing that needs to be done to this vise is normally they'll have a piece of hardwood that is mounted to the jaws. So I'll probably take a piece of oak or something like that and cut those down to size so that it has something to clamp the stock that you're working with. So anyway, those are some of the vices I have. Appreciate you taking the time to watch my video. Please click the like button and hit the subscribe button. And have a good day.